Okay, so you're getting ready for a trip, right? You're going to go explore some new places, and you want to feel good about like stepping off that plane.
Absolutely.
And not get all tripped up by the language barrier.
Yeah.
So that is what we are diving into today. Uh, Essential English phrases for travel.
That's it.
We've got some great resources that are really focused on real-world communication.
Yeah, definitely practical stuff.
So,
How to actually use it
yeah, how to use it.
out in the wild
Yeah,
when you're traveling.
not just like, textbook English, but
Yeah.
like what you're really going to need.
Yeah.
So, our mission today is to equip you with the English that you need for these key travel moments.
Yes.
And that's going to be airports, hotels, and getting around.
Yep.
So that you can just navigate with ease and focus on the adventure and not on being anxious about being misunderstood.
Yeah, absolutely. And we know your time is valuable, so we're just going to jump right in to these key areas where just, a little bit of English can make a huge difference to your whole travel experience.
Absolutely. So let's unpack this.
Yeah.
With the first big hurdle for a lot of travelers,
Mm-hmm.
airports.
Okay.
So picture this. You're the check-in counter. You're all excited. You're maybe a little travel weary already.
Right.
What's that one phrase you almost always hear from the airline staff?
I mean, you're almost guaranteed to hear, "Can I see your passport, please?"
Yeah.
It's a routine request, but it being ready for it can really set a smooth tone for your airport experience.
Yeah, absolutely. And always good to have it ready.
Or
right?
yeah,
Like fumbling for your passport just adds stress
adds so much stress.
to the
It's
process,
the worst.
especially when you're eager to start your journey.
Yeah.
So what's the quickest, most polite way to respond to that request?
A simple and direct, "Here you go," works perfectly.
Yeah.
No need for extra conversation at this point.
Makes total sense.
Yeah.
Passport presented, what's often the next question that they're going to ask you?
You'll likely hear, "Do you have any luggage to check?"
Okay.
And that's where you clarify, what's going in the hold versus what you're keeping with you on the plane.
Okay, so a couple of clear and concise ways our listener could answer that.
Yeah, if you have bags to check, you could just say, yes, one suitcase,
Okay.
or yes, two bags, nice and clear.
Ah,
And if you're traveling, light a simple, "No, just carry on," will do the trick.
awesome. Being direct helps keep things moving.
Exactly, keeps things efficient.
Okay, so passport luggage sorted, you're on your way to security. What's a typical instruction you're likely to hear there?
As you approach that security checkpoint, you'll often be instructed, "Please put your bag in the tray."
Okay.
Standard procedure to get your belongings scanned.
And this is a moment where a lot of travelers have a quick question,
Yep.
especially about what they're wearing,
Yep.
often shoes.
Shoes are always a question.
What's a useful question that our listener might want to have ready?
Security protocols can vary a little bit from airport to airport, so a really useful question to have ready is, "Can I keep my shoes on?"
Okay.
Asking politely, shows you're cooperative and aware of the rules, even if you're not totally sure.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've made it through security. You found your gate. You're waiting to board. What's the key announcement you need to listen for?
You'll want to listen for an announcement that goes something like this. "Flight 123 to London is now boarding."
Okay.
Of course, the flight number and destination will change, but that's the key information.
Okay.
Flight number to destination is now boarding.
Got it. And what if our listener isn't entirely sure where their gate is?
Uh-huh.
Let's say it's gate 5.
Okay.
How can they politely ask for directions?
Another very useful phrase, "Excuse me, where's gate 5?
Okay.
Direct polite gets you the info you need.
Great.
Remember to replace 5 with your actual gate number.
Of guess.
But that, is a small addition that makes a big difference in flightness.
Huge difference.
Huge.
It really does.
Yeah.
So just those few little phrases, here you go. Yes, number suitcase, or no, just carry on. Can I keep my shoes on? Listening for that boarding announcement and excuse me, where's gate number?
Yeah.
Can really smooth out that airport experience.
Absolutely.
And reduce that feeling of being overwhelmed.
It's amazing how just a few carefully chosen words can really reduce that anxiety in what can be, a busy and sometimes confusing environment.
Yeah.
So having those key phrases ready means you can just focus on the excitement of your trip.
Okay, so you've landed, you've made it to your hotel.
Yes.
Hopefully your bag's made it too.
Fingers crossed.
Now you're at the front desk, ready to check in. What's the first thing our listeners should say?
The most straightforward way to check in is to simply say, "Hi, I have a reservation under your name."
Okay.
Make sure to state your last name clearly as it appears on the booking.
Uh-huh.
That just helps the hotel staff find your information quickly and efficiently, especially during those busy periods.
Right, straight to the point, clear.
Exactly.
And what's a really important question to ask right away?
Yeah.
I'm thinking about something relating to the end of their stay.
Uh-huh.
I remember a time I didn't do this,
Yeah.
and I had a very frantic last morning.
Oh, yeah, that's a great point, and it's a common oversight.
Yeah.
It's always good to clarify that checkout time.
Yeah.
So just asking what time is checkout upon arrival
Okay.
really helps you plan your departure and avoid any unexpected charges or rushed mornings.
And what's a typical response they might get?
Something like checkout is at 11 a.m.
Okay.
Times will vary between hotels, of course, so always best to confirm.
Now, let's say something isn't quite right in the hotel room.
Uh-oh.
The air conditioning decides to take a break.
Oh, no.
How can our listener politely bring this to the hotel's attention?
A polite and effective way to report an issue is to say, "Excuse me, could you fix this? The air conditioning isn't working."
Okay.
Being specific about the problem, in this case, the air conditioning,
Uh-huh.
helps the staff address it more efficiently.
Yeah.
And you can easily just swap out air conditioning with whatever the issue might be.
Okay.
Excuse me. Again, softens the request and just consideration.
Politeness can go a long way in getting things resolved.
It really can.
And then finally the time comes to check out.
Yes.
What's a nice way for our listener to wrap up their hotel stay?
A simple and appreciated closing remark is, "Thank you, I had a great stay."
Okay.
It's a pleasant way to end your interaction with the hotel staff and leaves a nice positive final impression.
Yeah, so for hotels, we've got, "Hi, I have a reservation under your name. What time is checkout? Excuse me, could you fix the problem, and thank you, I had a great stay."
Yeah, those are the essentials.
Those are the essentials.
For a smooth hotel experience.
Yeah.
I think the real takeaway here is how these simple, direct phrases
Yeah.
just facilitate those smooth transactions
Yes.
and, help you address any hiccups that might come up along the way.
Totally.
It's about being, proactive and polite in your communication.
All right, you checked out, your bags are packed,
We're ready to go.
you're ready to explore.
Let's do it.
Let's talk about getting around.
Yeah.
What a fundamental question our listener might need to ask when they're trying to find a specific place,
Yeah.
like, say, a museum.
When you're trying to find your way, a very useful question is, "Excuse me, how do I get to the museum?"
Okay.
Clear and direct way to ask for directions.
Yep.
Remember to replace museum with your desired destination.
Of course.
And that, "excuse me," at the start is key for that polite interaction.
And what kind of response might they get?
Yeah.
Like, let's keep it really straightforward.
You might get a simple direction like turn left and go straight.
Okay?
Simple, but often exactly what you need to get oriented
Yeah.
in a new place.
Perfect. Now, what about taxis? What are a couple of practical phrases for that scenario?
Yeah, when hailing a taxi or using a taxi service, two key phrases come to mind.
Uh-huh.
First, to tell the driver where you want to go, "Can you take me to the train station?"
Okay.
Again, replace train station with your specific destination.
Got it.
And then secondly, a crucial question to ask, how much is it?
Yes.
This helps avoid any surprises when it comes time to pay.
Good practical stuff.
Yes.
And what if our listener's walking around and starts to feel a little unsure if they're heading in the right direction?
Uh-huh.
What's a reassuring question they could ask to just kind of double check?
If you find yourself wondering if you're on the right path, a helpful question is this the way to the city center?
Okay.
Allows you to quickly and politely confirm your route
Uh-huh.
with a local and, again, replace city center with your intended destination.
Okay, so for getting around, we've covered asking, "Excuse me, how do I get to the place?"
Yeah.
Telling a taxi driver, "Can you take me to the destination?" And asking, "How much is it?"
Yep.
And finally checking if you're on track with, "Is this the way to the destination?"
That's it.
Those feel like they cover the essentials
They really
for
do.
navigating a new city.
What's amazing about these phrases is they just empower you to navigate unfamiliar environments
Yeah.
with a greater sense of confidence. Even a simple, politely phrased question can really open up a helpful interaction and get you where you need to go.
Now, before we wrap up,
Yeah.
our source material had this really smart piece of advice
Uh-huh.
for our listeners, a little tip to have in their back pocket.
Yeah. They recommended to always carry a small notebook with key phrases written down.
Okay.
Or to download a translation app on your phone. Think of it as like a, low-tech or high-tech backup plan. It can really be a lifesaver if you need a quick reminder or when you encounter a communication situation beyond those basic phrases that we've talked about.
That's a brilliant tip. It's like having a mini phrase book or a digital interpreter right there with you.
Right in your pocket.
So to recap, we've taken a deep dive into these essential English phrases for navigating airports, checking in and out of hotels,
Yep.
and getting around a new city.
And as we said right at the beginning, the goal here is to just give you the confidence to communicate effectively
Yeah.
in these key travel situations. That way you can spend less time, worrying about language barriers
Yes.
and more time enjoying the amazing experience
Absolutely.
of exploring a new place.
Which brings us to a final thought for you, our listener.
Okay.
Considering how much of the travel experience,
Uh-huh.
from the practical stuff to those wonderful unexpected moments, involves communication
Yes.
How might being more comfortable with even these basic English phrases
Yeah.
unlock unexpected opportunities for connection and discovery on your next trip?
Right.
Think about the conversations you might have,
Yeah.
the local insights you might gain,
Totally.
simply by feeling a little bit more confident in your ability to communicate and engage with the world around you.
This raises a really interesting point, doesn't it? It's not just about, getting from point A to point B. It's about the richness of those experiences that you can unlock.
Cool.
When you feel empowered to interact with the people and the culture of the places that you're visiting,
Exactly.
that's the real magic of travel.
Well said.
Thanks.
All right. That is it for today's deep dive.
Until next time.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.